Hello again, Carol and Mario.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Carol?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. Did you have a chance to spend Mother Days with your mother or no?
Teacher, I spent 2 weeks with my mother.
Uh,
So I come back to São Bernardo on Saturday,
uh,
and on Monday I didn't spend the day with her.
I see. So
But I spent a lot of time with her.
that's good enough then.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It was
So
good.
now you are back to your apartment. Are
Yes,
things
teacher.
already back to normal there or no?
Here in São Bernardo?
Yes.
No, teacher. Here it's chaotic situation.
Yeah, chaotic.
It's like São Paulo because I think this is a third city more infected
The
in
30
Brazil.
most infected city in Brazil?
Yes, third most. Yes. So it's not so good here, but
I see.
I intend don't out of my apartment in the
I intend not to go out.
not to go out of my apartment in this period that I stay here.
I see.
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am afraid that the situation is going to be also chaotic here because the mayor, okay, the city mayor has liberated everything starting on today. No, the
Really?
public park, yes, all the stores were open. My wife went out to buy something on Saturday at a supermarket, and she told me that things were crazy, like she
Uh-huh.
spent 45 minutes to drive like 4 or 5 blocks. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. She told me she had never seen so many people out on the streets, like more than 100 people standing outside Magazine Luiza waiting maybe to buy a mother's present.
Oh my gosh.
And all of them without masks, without protection, and they would just put the mask at the moment they enter the store and take it off at the moment they left the store. So that's no good.
Yeah,
Understand?
yeah. Here I note that there are a lot of people with masks, but it's very funny, teacher. I needed to went to the supermarket when I come back, and I went to the supermarket in 7 o'clock on Sunday, and I meet people that don't use inside the supermarket the mask. I don't know what's the name of. Let me see. But the mask, knowing the face in the
In the head, the forehead.
yes, in the head. It's bizarre.
Yes, my wife just showed me a guy arguing with a
Really?
pharmacist sales. I don't know. I think she thinks it's here. I don't know. The guy wanted to go inside of a pharmacy and with the mask in the head, and the guy didn't let him in, and they started fighting because of that. The guy said, well, the law says I'm supposed to wear a mask, but it's never written where I'm supposed to wear the mask. So
Yes. And because it's we have a rule now that you need to use the masks, but people we put the mask only in the head and not in the face. So it's funny.
so what's the point?
Yes.
Keep it in
Oh
your
my
pocket
gosh.
then. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that at the airport of Madrid, the day I was leaving, I took a photograph of a guy with a N95 mask, which is supposed to be the best one, but on the head. And Madrid was probably the worst place to be during this,
Yeah.
lockdown.
Yes.
And the guy
Yes.
was with the mask covering his forehead, not
In
the nose and the mouth.
in the neck, in the head. Oh my gosh! What the
Yes,
purpose of that?
yeah, that's right. Hello, Marcos. How are you?
Hello, teacher. All right, I'm fine with you. Hello,
I'm all
Carol.
right.
Hello, Marcos.
So good to hear that. Hello, Vito.
How was Mother's Day? Was it nice?
Oh yeah, it was good.
Did your mom prepare anything special?
I prepared for my mom. No, I not prepared. I bought a lasagna for my mom.
Oh, you bought a lasagna for your mother?
Yeah, and
That's
we eat
nice.
together.
Was it good?
Yes, it was delicious.
All right. Good to know that. Wagner, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. What about you? Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
I'm okay. And you? Did you
I'm
spend
okay.
Mother's Day at home?
Yes, at home. My mom is far from here.
Oh, is she? Where does she live?
Yes. In São Paulo, but it's a little bit far.
I see. So it's
I
better
live
to
in
stay
Santo
home.
André. She lives in Itaquera. It's not too
Ah,
far, but in this time, she's a little bit older, and then I
yeah,
prepare to stay
it's
at
better
home.
not to take a chance, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Wagner live near me. I live in São Bernardo, Wagner.
Oh, pleased to know you.
Yeah.
You see, almost neighbors.
Yes.
I'm almost
Okay.
neighbor too.
Oh yeah, sure.
Ah.
As they say in English, just a stone's throw. Have you ever heard?
Oh,
Have you
Yes.
ever heard this expression?
no.
Let me see if I can write it here for you. It's an idiom that, let me see. Yeah. Let me write here for you. Come on, share the board for me. Okay. Can you see a whiteboard there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not?
No.
It's
No.
funny because
Black screen.
Now?
now, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, now yet.
Yeah. You live a stone's throw from here. It's funny because here in Minas, there is a very common expression that the Mineiros use. Every time you ask, is it far? They say, no, é tirico de espingarda. Okay? When they want to say it's very near, but their very near notion is stupid, sometimes take you a couple hours to get to the place.
Oh, very near.
Yes, very, very. É tirico de espingarda, okay? And in English, there is a similar expression. It's a stone's throw. That means at the distance that you can throw a stone. Understand? You live a stone's throw from here, okay? Well, but anyway, today's class was not about a stone's throw. Last Friday, we were informally, just Marcos and Carol, we were informally talking about, do you remember what?
The situation.
Telecommuting.
Telecommuting. Very good,
Yeah,
Carol.
telecommuting.
Yeah, so I decided to do some search because I think this is a very updated topic nowadays to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And provided you with some more, let's say, interesting vocabulary about that. Okay, so share the screen here. Okay. All right, let's see. Can you see my screen there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to be today's topic. I'm going to read the first part and that's it. Then you read the rest for me and then we talk about. Telecommuting, as I told you, commute is a word that doesn't exist in Portuguese. To commute, you can also listen commuter, okay? Like American Airlines has many commuter flights. Have you ever heard about this, Wagner? Wagner?
No, teacher.
Yes, there are several flights in the United States between cities like New York, Washington, D.C. You You don't even have to buy a ticket in advance. You can go straight to the airport and they have a flight every 10, 15 minutes. It's just like the one between Rio and Sao Paulo, okay? They're called commuter flights because these cities are very connected. So a guy works in New York and has a meeting in DC, so he just goes straight to the airport, buys the ticket at the counter and walks to the departure gate, understand? These flights are very common in the United States. They're called commuters, okay? Commuting flights. So telecommuting is a practice in which an employee works at a location, usually, but not always, one's home, that is remote from the actual business facility at which he or she is employed. Under this arrangement, the employee maintains close contact with co-workers and supervisors via various forms of computer, internet, communication technology. This is electronic mail, telephone, data transfer, etc., etc. Okay? So telecommuting is what many people have been doing at home right now, like Marcos is doing. I am also doing it here right now.
Yeah.
Okay? And but the name in Brazil, as we talked about last Friday, we say, I'm home office now. The perfect vocabulary is I'm telecommuting now. That means I'm not going to work. I work from home, okay? So this trend started in the USA many, many years ago.
Teacher,
Yes, Marcos.
but it's correct to say I'm homework. You use this word homework. It's correct or not?
That's what I told you. Honestly speaking, I've heard people saying, but it's not the common word, okay? I think we use it more in Brazil in English than they use it in English themselves, okay?
Okay.
So let's read this. Ladies first. Carol, you start. I'll give you the first paragraph. It's very short. So I'll tell you where to
Oh
stop.
my gosh.
I'll tell you where to stop. Go ahead.
Okay.
Carol can read everything for us.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Go ahead. Do my job and I'll take a nap. Okay?
Okay. Telecommuting is an increasingly popular work option in many business and industries, and its usage is expected to increase in the future, boosted by new innovations. Correct me, teacher.
Boosted.
Boosted, okay. Boosted by new innovations in computer and communication technology. This trend is driven by several factors. Linda Shaw, author of Telecommuting, Go to Work Without Leaving Home, wrote that the labor pool of employees with specific talents will shrink, making employers more willing to make concessions to keep value employees happy.
Okay, we can stop there and we can discuss this first part. Carol, this trend is driven, past participle to drive, driven.
Sorry, driven, okay.
Not driving, okay?
Sorry.
So it's interesting, very interesting to read this article now because this article was written many years ago. And the woman said here, this trend is driven by several facts and is expected somewhere here. Yes. And its usage is expected to increase in the future. She never probably expected that the future was today, okay? All right. Boosted by innovations in computer? No. Boosted by a virus, okay? And not a computer virus, okay? Yes. How many millions of people around the globe had to start working from home, had to start telecommuting due to these pandemics, okay? Now, is there any word, any expression, or any passage that you did not understand in this first part that Carol read for us?
Shrink.
Yes, me too.
Okay. Marcus is asking me that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever bought a new pair of jeans or a new shirt or a new t-shirt.
Ah, it is one shrink?
Yeah, and after washing it for the first time, it shrank.
Mm.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is to shrink. Past tense, shrank. Past participle, shrunk. And it's interesting because that's the same name they give to psychologists or psychiatrists, you know, the
Teacher,
shrink.
can I use this for clothes? Sorry.
Yes, that is the original idea, you know,
Okay. Okay.
For what?
like,
Sorry.
I'm sorry,
I didn't heard what Carol said. Sorry.
if it's possible to be used for clothes. Yes, the first definition is this, to decrease in size, understand? I don't know what's happening. I have not washed any of my clothes, but I think they are shrinking just naturally in the air, understand? For some reason. I don't know if I have been eating more here in Brazil than in Europe, but my clothes are shrinking. Every day I try on a shirt and I say, wow, it shrank a lot. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yes, it's true.
Yes, but I remember once, I used to live in the United States at the time. A friend of mine went to visit me and he just took a pair of jeans, understand? And then he told me he needed to wash it. So he was just around the house in his underwear and he was washing his pair of jeans. But the washing machines in the United States, they use hot water and they dry, understand?
Mm-hmm.
When it came out of the washing machine,
Oh my gosh.
the pair of jeans was about half the size. You know, he could not even put it up just above the knees, understand? Because he has shrunk a lot. And he got so desperate because he didn't have another pair of pants.
Oh
So
my gosh.
he asked me if I could go out and buy him another pair of pants so he could have something to wear. Otherwise, he would only have his underwear to go out.
A teacher, when I was in Canada, my
Uh-huh.
my biggest concern
Sure.
was about this, and I try explain to homestay that I stayed that my worry about the clothes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time to see how my clothes stayed, but
Okay.
my biggest concern was about
Exactly
that.
this.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, really, I don't understand why clothes that are made in Brazil shrink so much. Understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Because, for instance, at the moment, everything I'm wearing, I didn't buy in Brazil. Everything. Pants, underwear, sweater, shirt, nothing was bought here. And I can wash everything here normally in a regular hot water washing machine and afterwards in a dryer, and they don't shrink. Understand?
Mhm.
But if it's made in Brazil, wow. Okay?
Yes.
I don't know. I really don't understand what happens. Maybe they are pre-washed before being
Yeah, can be.
yes, I don't know. There is something different, okay? Because everything that is made in Brazil, when you wash them outside Brazil in a hot water machine, they shrink, okay?
Mm.
But if you start paying attention to movies, this word is very commonly used to refer to your psychiatrist or your psychologist, okay? Like, I need to see my shrink, okay? That's the words they use. I think because they shrink your mind, or I don't know why they use it, but if you look up in the Google, you can see that that is the word used to refer to psychologist, okay? When you are
Okay.
doing,
Shrink.
I don't know, a shrink, yes. Now, Wagner, can you continue reading, starting here? A smaller labor pool.
Yes, but before that I just want to ask you about pool, because I know many words with together pool. I know the meaning, but only pool I have some
Pool means
confusing me.
a group of,
Oh, great.
like a company pool. okay? A pool of companies, labor pool, okay? A smaller labor pool, okay?
Great. I'm gonna read now. A smaller labor pool combined with an increasing demand for highly skilled laborers has fueled employee-driven changing in work environments. Scarce, scarce,
Scarce.
scarce, highly skilled workers have been begun to demand more flexible work arrangements, especially as they choose to live farther and farther from their employers. Shaw and other observers also note demographic change within the American workforce as a factor in growth of telecommuting. Can you scroll the, yes, thank you. This analysis contends that the new generation of workers are less willing to sacrifice time with family and their counterparts of previous eras.
Eras. Okay.
This is correct?
Yes, eras. Yes.
I've
Previous
never seen
times.
this. I've never seen, oh, I see.
Yes. It's not a mistype.
Yes.
Sometimes I mistype something wrong, okay? But this is no, it's previous era, okay?
I
It exists
understood.
in English. It's the same meaning of Portuguese, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's discuss this part before we continue, okay? So
Yeah.
we are saying here that a small group of people combined with an increasing demand for highly skilled laborers has fueled, that means has provided a fuel to employee-driven changes in working environments. Scarce means not easily available, okay? Scarce, it's scarce, like Portuguese.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Highly skilled workers have begun to demand more flexible work arrangements. If you know you're good at what you do, you know, if you are a highly skilled employee, you can demand benefits. That's obvious, understand?
Like
And then,
Carol did on the last class. Okay.
exactly, you remember, you know, the so many strength, she can demand a bigger salary and more benefits, okay? This is part of the game. So what happened? In the USA, Canada, many places in Europe, people don't live near their jobs. They live each time farther and farther away from their jobs. Understand? This is very common. In the United States, if you have been there, near all the major cities, you have special lanes on the highways at the entrance and at the exit of the city. And they are symbolized by a diamond or an inverted symbol like this, okay? And then there is usually a number inside of the diamond, like 2, 3, 4. That means only cars with 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people can use those special lanes. They are reserved for carpooling, understand? So if
Nice.
you ever, yes, because sometimes even my wife and I, for example, in many places we could use the carpool lanes because the other lanes were totally stopped, like bumper to bumper, you know, and we could just, you know, because those,
I saw those on New Jersey. There are a lot of this.
oh yes, especially
Because so
because,
many times works in New York. They lives in New Jersey,
and they
but
work in
they
New
have
York.
to, yes, because
Yes, so
it's,
that's the case of commuting. That's why I told you
mm-hmm,
this word doesn't exist in Brazil. So you have places where you can park and commute, park and commute. That means you leave your car outside the city, there is a free parking area, and from there you have buses every 5 minutes going into downtown. Because if everyone goes alone to work, it's impossible to park, understand? Or the
mm-hmm.
pollution will increase a lot. So they stimulate the park and pool or park and commute, okay? And they have the special lanes for you to carpool with co-workers, understand? Because as Wagner said, many people live in the cities around New York and New Jersey, but they work in New York, understand? So every day they need to go to New York. The same goes for Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles, and every major city. So that's why the government decided to have special lanes for carpoolers, understand?
Yeah.
So you just get a group of friends that work at the same place. Each week, one drives, okay? And then you go to work with more than one person. What they want to do is limit the number of passengers driving alone.
Once,
But
once I went to San Francisco
okay.
to do a training at United Airlines, and in the parking of the United Airlines, I counted at least 50 motorhome.
People living
You know,
there.
yes, then I said, hey, what happened here? And then a coworker said me that living in San Francisco is really, really expensive. And they work 1 week for 18 hours, and they rest on that motorhome in the parking.
Yes.
And they work 1 week and get 1 week off, you know?
But this is becoming also very common. Sometimes people want to save money, so they just buy a motorhome and they do park in the parking area of their company. Google has more than 100 motorhomes in their parking lot.
Oh,
Okay?
man. I just saw in United Airlines. I've never
No,
seen this.
you don't believe the number of people that live inside of the parking lot of Google, because
Oh
Google
my
has
gosh.
flexible hours, understand?
Yeah.
So what people do is they go there, sleep there, park their motorhome, sleep in the motorhome. They wake up anytime they want. They go into Google. They have a gym there. So they work out. After that, there are, of course, restrooms where they can take a shower, and then they change clothes. They go to work. They finish work. They go back to their motorhome, and then they don't need to drive to work. I read an article about this. Many people have already bought like beach houses in Hawaii or even a farm in other places with the money they were able to save by living inside of their motorhomes. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the new word. Okay? And nowadays with the telecommuting, it's changing again. Okay?
Yeah.
So, is there any other expression that you are not familiar with at this part
Teacher,
that Wagner read for us?
what it means commutes is touted as a key factor. Is it touted?
Okay, it's kind of, you see, the desire to spend more time at home and avoid the long commute is touted as is mentioned, is said to be a key factor, okay?
Okay.
That is really an attractive benefit. Many people are not even telecommuting. I'm sorry, I just moved it. I think I touched a button here and I moved the page. As Wagner said, they're not even commuting or telecommuting. They're living inside of their plant, understand?
Okay.
Inside of nice and big motorhomes, okay? Another question? If not, Max, could you finish this small paragraph for us, please?
Yes. This desire to spend more time at home and avoid long commutes is touted as a key factor is making telecommuting an attractive benefit. Finally,
Okay.
new technologies have made working from home a viable alternative. With the advent of high-speed
Advantage.
oh my God, where is? Oh, high-speed modems, fax machines, voicemail, powerful personal computers, electronic mail, and the like, workers can now perform the jobs without losing touch with employers and
Customers. Okay. Any problem about this part or no?
No.
Actually, not problem. this expression when they say electronic mail and the like. What it
Yeah,
means and the like?
yeah, I think about this too.
Let me find it here. Where is it?
Is
It's
the
the last phrase.
Okay.
um,
Last
but
phrase.
Yes,
the broader
let's
like
statement.
Yeah, means and similar things.
okay,
Oh, I see.
Okay.
okay,
With the advent of high-speed modems, fax machines, when this article was written, they even used fax machines. Today they are obsolete. Nobody uses that anymore.
yeah,
Powerful personal computers, electronic mail, and the like. Okay, that means another means of communication. Workers can now perform their jobs without losing touch uh, with employers and customers. Okay,
okay,
like the guy that created this app that I have been using to give you a class, is one of the newest billionaires in the world, the
yeah,
founder of Zoom. I think
Zoom,
he's a young guy, a Chinese guy who lives in San Francisco, as far as I know, probably as old as Marcos. But the
probably.
guy, there is only a difference in the salary, okay? He's got probably 10-digit salary, something like that, understand?
Oh my gosh. But
Yes.
I think he becomes very rich because of the Zoom,
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
especially after the situation, the pandemic.
Yes, I think the
Almost,
number of users increased from like 10 million to 250 million, understand?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
now the Google tries to compete against him, and make something with the Hangouts and
yes.
allow everyone to use the Hangouts too. But the Zoom is more popular nowadays.
Yes, I don't know, they had some problems with hacking, at the beginning, but I
Yeah, at the
think
beginning.
they have improved their security. And every time I access my account, because we do, Descubra o Mundo has paid to have an account. That's why our classes are not, let's say,
Don't
cut
finish
off.
before 4 or 5
Yes,
minutes.
exactly. That's why sometimes we can extend the class, because if you have a free version, at 45 minutes, they cut you off, understand?
Yeah.
That's why sometimes we just extend the conversation and we don't get cut off, okay? But let's see the advantage. Any question about this other part or no?
No.
Wagner,
No.
Carol?
No.
No?
No, I'm good.
Okay, great. Let's see the advantage of telecommuting. The advantages of telecommuting. Oh, Carol.
Yes. Both employers and employees have found in telecommuting to be a mutually beneficial,
Mutually beneficial.
mutually beneficial arrangement in many instances. Proponents
Site
cite several positive factors, in particular happier employees, telecommuting
employees.
employees,
From
telecommuting.
where I am, I understood that you said happier employers. No, it's
No,
happier.
happier employees.
If you don't emphasize the end of it, I misunderstand you with employers. Okay, it's
Okay.
employees. You need to smile. Show us your teeth.
Okay,
Employees.
employees. Telecommuting arrangements can help workers realize a general improvement in their personal quality of life. They avoid long, stressful commutes, thus gaining more time for pleasurable activities and more flexibility for changeable tasks like child and elder care.
Flexibility.
Flexibility.
Okay. Any problem about this? Marcos, Wagner, Carol?
Changeable in this case
I'm good.
is like I can change the situation to take care of the children and the elder people like this in the situation.
Yes. Every time you add able, okay, like to the end of a word, it means to have the ability of, like changeable, the
Okay.
ability of changing tasks. Understand?
Mhm.
like a comfortable, the ability of offering you comfort. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's a suffix that can be added to many words. Okay.
Changeable. Yes.
Yes.
This situation is really good, yeah, because you can save a lot of time in the commute.
Yes. Yes. That was the primary point. And as I told you, many people are living further and further away from their office. So if it's possible to work from home and transfer everything, all your tasks to your
Yeah.
employer, well, that's great. Okay.
I had
That
a friend that she lived almost 3 hours far away from her job.
more than 3 hours
Yeah, almost like that, almost
by car or by what? On foot.
by bus.
Oh my
That's a long
gosh.
distance. Yes. Imagine 3 hours to
That's
go, 3 hours to come back. So we are talking
yeah,
about 6 hours of commuting. Okay.
traffic jam in the middle of the way. It was
Yeah.
really stressful.
In the United States, there is a magazine called Fortune magazine. Every year they elect the best city to live in the United States. Okay. Do you know what is one of the factors to be classified as the best city to live
The
in
facility
terms
of
of
going on.
quality of life is the commuting time. Understand?
Yeah.
All cities that offer you a very low commuting time by creating special lanes, sometimes belt rings around the city, so you don't have to drive through the city. You can go on a belt line, like in Sao Paulo, and then you just go around the city and you just take the right exit to go straight to your office. Okay? So in every time a city wins as the best place to live, you check the commuting time is less than 20 minutes.
Oh,
Understand?
nice.
So imagine your friend's situation would be considered horrible. 3 hours,
Yeah.
three to go, three to come back. We're talking about 6 hours commuting time. That's
Six
not
hours per
acceptable.
day.
Yes,
She
that's
said
not
me
acceptable.
that she had to wake up 4 a.m., I guess,
Yeah, you
to
see.
prepare herself and after go out, take the bus.
Yeah, and since it was a she, we are talking about an hour at least to prepare herself, right, Carol?
Yes.
Okay. I take into consideration to say this, the time I spend to prepare myself and the time my wife spends to prepare herself when we are going out. I can be
Yeah.
ready in 5 minutes, taking a shower, combing the little hair I have, understand? And that's it. My wife, on the other hand, is going to take about an hour, okay? Until deciding which dress to wear.
Yeah.
Something like that, okay?
Makes sense.
Another question about this or no?
No.
So the first advantage was happier employees. Wagner, can you read the second advantage?
Yes.
Increased
Uh,
retention.
increasing retention of value employees. Many business lose workers when those employees undergo significant life changes, such as starting a family or relocating to another region or state because of a spouse carer. Telecommuting is one way in which a business may be able to continue
Utilize
to
the
utilize the
services.
services of an otherwise unavailable worker. It is also touted as a tool that permits workers to minimize use of personal days in instances where they have to stay home and care for a sick child and etc.
Okay. In instance, not instances, in
Oh,
instances.
in
Okay.
instances.
Okay, and there is also another thing here. Okay, relocating to another region or state because of a spouse's career.
What is this?
A
Spouses career.
spouse is either a husband or a wife.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
For instance, I don't know if Wagner is married. I know that Carol is married. But what
I'm
does
not
your
that.
husband do, Carol?
Sorry?
What does your husband do?
My husband is a financial coordinator.
Financial coordinator.
Coordinator, yeah.
Yeah, imagine that he gets a very good proposal. And imagine that he is the breadwinner of the family. But this proposal is to work, for instance, I don't know, in Rio or in Salvador, okay? Where the bon vivants live, okay? So imagine, probably you'll be moving, of course, if you want to
Yeah.
preserve the family, you move, okay? And if you work for a company in São Paulo and your job is really nice, you are a skilled person, as we know, what happens? Probably they'll find a way to keep you, okay? So that's
Yeah.
increasing retention of valued employees, okay?
Yeah.
So many people move because of the spouse's career. And it's interesting, spouse is either a man or a woman, because usually we use this to refer to a woman in Brazil, understand? It's not very common to listen
Yeah.
to say meu esposo. Usually Brazilians say meu marido, okay? But in English, you can say my spouse or either one, okay? Another question. See the word again, Carol. It's also touted as a tool, mentioned, promoted,
Okay.
as a tool that permits workers to minimize the use of personal days. Any other
Okay.
problem, Wagner, Marcos, about this part or no?
No.
No, I'm good.
Great. Marcos, can you read the third advantage mentioned? Increased employee productivity that we discussed last Friday.
Okay. Increased employee. Oh my gosh.
Employee
Employee
productivity.
Productivity. Business studies and anecdotal
Anecdotal,
anecdotal evidence
evidence.
both suggest that employees are often much more productive at home, where drop-in interruptions and meetings are not distractions. Instead, the teleworker
Instead.
instead the teleworker can focus on the job at hand. Of course, productivity at home is directly related to the employee's level of self-discipline and abilities.
Yes, here I can see Marcos working at home. Remember, Carol, he said that
Yeah.
he couldn't talk to his crush that is
Yeah.
going to become his girlfriend after the lockdown is over. Because during the
Yeah.
day he was working, she was working. He would not stop working to talk to her. So that
Oh,
means
Yeah.
that's
he's
really
a
bad.
self-disciplined person, understand? Oh, I am telecommuting. I cannot stop doing it in order to talk to my crush. So I'm going to talk to her at night.
Yeah.
But I was talking with my friend, I think some days ago, that you have to find a balance between the time that you use it to work and the time that you use to do our things. Because on the other hand, you become crazy, maybe.
Yes,
You work
but
a lot in telecommuting.
you
Yeah.
usually work more. We
Yeah.
discussed this, okay? Because
Yeah.
you see, in an office, you always have somebody that comes to your desk to talk or to say something, they call it where drop-in interruptions.
Yeah.
And meetings are not distractions. At home, you don't have anyone to interrupt you unless you have like 5 children running around. That can be a problem, understand? But if you're self-disciplined and you have the right abilities to transfer to your office all your job, no problem. Okay. Any other
Yeah.
vocabulary problem about this part or no?
Mm,
Cost savings. Carol, can you read this small one?
Yes, cost savings. Business can often gain
Carol, it's in the plural now.
businesses.
Businesses
Businesses.
can often
Businesses can often gain significant savings in facility costs like office space and parking space requirements when staff members telecommute.
we discussed this last week. Remember, last Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have 100 employees, you need to have a big office space. You
No.
have a high electricity bill. You probably spend a lot of money with coffee because there is always a coffee break, understand?
Yeah.
And if, imagine, 90% of your employees are working at home. Why do you need to have an office for 100 people? They don't come to the office, understand? So you can just minimize your costs with space, parking, like Carol said.
Shrink.
Yes, you shrink your company. Yes,
Very nice.
yes.
Yes.
But observe that in this case, shrinking is not downsizing. Understand? Downsize is when you fire everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? In this case, no, you are just decreasing your office size without firing anyone. People are only telecommuting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a matter of downsizing. Okay? Downsizing is a very common business expression, used it a lot nowadays. Okay? Many companies are downsizing. Understand? That is cutting their employees. Okay? I think my Google heard me say something and is already giving me, okay? I hate Google because of this. I'll throw my phone away from me, okay? That's why they are always watching us, okay? It's Big
Yes.
Brother, man. Big
Always.
Brother.
Always.
Oh, teacher, I
The
like
phone is on the
Very
desk
nice.
beside me, you know? So just say something, Google is there. Just, you know what to how to say this in English when you are just listening to other people's conversation?
No.
You know, there's a verb for this.
No, I don't know.
Eavesdrop.
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 It's a verb, like they say in Minas, pescoçar. You know, you're just listening to other people's conversation. You are eavesdropping on other people's conversation. I think Google is always doing that because
Oh my
when you
gosh.
say something with a certain emphasis, Google starts saying, well, according to this is that. Big brother, man.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
disadvantages. Our time finished, guys. Yes. I know they are not going to cut us off, but my wife will cut me off if I don't stop here. Anyway, I'd like you, if you can, to read the last. So I'd like to use the beginning of tomorrow's class to discuss this, okay? To get your feedback. There is a reference here. If you want
Okay.
to go further into details, you can use the link. I have provided the link for you. Reference for business. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Hope you have an excellent evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. Okay? Bye-bye for now.
See you. Bye-bye, Wagner, Marcos.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah.